There is no Black Panther without Denzel Washington.
Is what the late Chadwick Boseman once said. We know what you're thinking. Was Denzel Washington in Black Panther? Because if he was, I sure missed it. Well, to set your mind at ease, he did not appear in the Marvel movie and was not involved in making the film in any way. So, aside from his Oscar award-winning performances, what is so special about Denzel that the most famous actors, including the great Tom Hanks, credit the magnitude of their career to this star? How could the Wakanda superhero possibly have not existed if it wasn't for Washington? Well, before we get into all of that, take a second to subscribe to the Rumour Juice channel and turn that little gray button red. Before the late Chadwick Boseman led the Wakanda Forever movement, he was just a little kid with big dreams and no money to make it happen. While studying at Harvard University, the young and ambitious actor and a handful of other students were accepted to study acting at Oxford University. But without the funds to attend, they would have to pass up this life-changing opportunity. Fortunately for Boseman, his mentor at the time, actress Phylicia Rashad, had a friend in her corner who could change all of that for the young aspiring actor. I made a phone call to a friend of mine, and he called me back, and we talked about it for about 5 minutes, and he said, "Okay, I got this money," she said. And that good friend was none other than the Denzel Washington. Imagine finding out that the person you looked up to believed in your dreams so much that they were willing to pay whatever it cost for you to reach them.
Chad's obviously very, 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 very talented man. A real gentle, articulate individual.
Denzel's contribution is what that meant for a young Boseman who grew up and never forgot what his role model did for him. The young actor had made a promise to himself that he had to become successful enough to thank his hero in person. During Washington's American Film Institute's Lifetime Achievement Award evening, the successful and thriving Chadwick finally got the opportunity to thank Denzel for changing his life. In the mind-numbing world we all live in, we need heroes. We need superheroes like Denzel to remind us that that we're all one people. That's your gift, sir. You unite us, you inspire us, and I want to thank you for leading the way. The touching words received nothing but an emotional standing ovation from the man of the hour himself. Jamie Foxx, Julia Roberts, Morgan Freeman, and Jodie Foster are just a few of the names also present to honor the actor. A fan who dedicated an entire podcast to the star, Denzel Washington is the greatest actor of all time, period, also got to meet his idol for the very first time. Washington is known for being an inspiration to many. Once touched by Denzel, most actors' lives were never the same. The motivational star once said, "It's not important what you become or what you accomplish necessarily, but it is important who you are and who you help and what you contribute to this world, especially at this time. And it may be in front of the camera and it may not." And his life is proof of that. Washington was named after the same doctor that delivered his father, and as fate would have it, just like doctors, Washington was born to help people.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
And another actor who received help, not financially this time, was the Forrest Gump actor who stole our hearts, Tom Hanks. If anyone deserves the same praise of being one of the greatest actors of his time, it's definitely Hanks. Yet, it seems that Hanks owes his success to Washington. In one of their most iconic films, Philadelphia, Tom experienced what it feels like to work with Denzel firsthand. Though Hanks had been in the acting business for some time and given us classics like Sleepless in Seattle, it was on the set of Philadelphia that the actor felt he learned more from his co-star than he had at any other point in his career. He said watching Denzel was, quote, like going to film school, and those lessons seemed to have significantly impacted his career. His phenomenal performance as a gay man struggling with AIDS and discrimination earned him his first Oscar award, and we've loved every single one of his roles ever since. His work with Washington was his big step into the world of dramatic acting, which led him to become one of the most well-respected actors of our time. But the actor has not only touched the hearts of well-known people, but someone as ordinary as a security guard. For his directorial debut, Washington fought for the script of a security guard at Sony Pictures to receive the financial backing it needed. The persistent actor agreed to star in the project to sweeten the deal, which was finally released in 2002. Antwone Fisher was a complete success and scored an impressive 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. But funny enough, Denzel never saw himself becoming an actor. Growing up, young Denzel always wanted to pay due to his name by becoming a doctor. This dream continued to grow until he went to college and realized it might not be his field. I started off in biology in college because I thought, oh, okay, I know what I'm going to be. I'll be a doctor, the actor shared. I try biology and I just remember the teacher sitting there, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what is he talking about? I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna stay awake. But still, that was not the moment he decided to take the acting route.
I worked at a YMCA camp and we put on a show for the kids. And I got up there and started making up rhymes and someone said, you ever thought about being an actor? That you seem to have a knack for that. And I had never thought about it.
Washinton had other dreams. He studied political science and journalism before finally deciding to try his luck on the acting stage, which he only decided to do because he was told that you can get an easy and good grade in it, and that's what he wanted. Luckily for him, acting gave him a lot more than an A+. He found the one profession that allowed him to be everything he had ever hoped to be. Ever since a woman with the gift of prophecy told him that he would touch millions, Washinton has always felt drawn to becoming a preacher.
Keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
And with his platform, the impactful actor has gone on to do exactly that. Well, right now, since I've been given this ability to act, this must be what Ruth Green was talking about Denzel shared. I've had an opportunity to play great men, and through their words, to preach. I take what talent I've been given seriously, and I want to use it for good. Washinton was also finally able to fulfill his medical aspiration when he was cast as Dr. Philip Chandler, one of his first big roles on NBC's medical drama, St. Elsewhere.
Nurse, Mrs. Zenvari, 302. She get her 4 a.m. Keflex?
You wrote it, we gave it.
His other dreams of journalism and politics later manifested in career-defining films, like The Pelican Brief and Malcolm X. The latter was one of Denzel's most iconic roles. He even named his youngest son Malcolm. The film not only scored stellar reviews, but it also made him the only actor to ever film in Mecca. Washinton portrays the life of activist Malcolm X, whose ideologies changed through the Muslim faith.
Before there was any such thing as a Jew or a Christian, we were black people. In fact, before there was any such place as America, we were black. And after America has long passed from the scene, there will still be black people.
Unfortunately, anyone who is not of the Muslim faith is forbidden from visiting the city, so the production would not be able to film there. Luckily, changes were made. Washinton worked with an all-Muslim crew, making him and his co-stars the only people to ever film in Mecca to this day. Like the famously conservative country, Washinton also has his rules when it comes to the film industry. You want people to go, I can't wait to see him, not, oh, I see him everywhere. I think if you drink too much water, you'll drown. So you want to keep some mystery, You keep things quiet so that you build up to that next movie. If you were wondering why you barely see the actor strutting around promoting any upcoming films, now you know. Washinton does not believe in self-promotion. If you're going to watch his movies, it's because they're good, and not because of, quote, how many likes you got. Outside of the acting world, Denzel keeps his private life very private. This is why very few people know that he's happily married and a doting father of 4, and that this familiar face that has hit the film screens by storm is his firstborn son. So, aside from all the people that he inspired, his son had a front row seat to all the action. Yet, being Denzel's son is not as glamorous as it sounds. Afraid of living in his father's shadow, John David did not initially take the acting route. The younger Washinton was a professional football player for the St. Louis Rams, but unfortunately, his last name made it hard for him to stay in the sports world. I literally had situations where people think I don't need my scholarship because I'm Denzel's son. Well, I feel like I earned the scholarship. I worked hard. I broke my ribs, I got concussions. I worked for that contract, even though I sat on the bench. And sadly for him, things didn't get any easier when he decided to follow in his father's footsteps by finally joining the acting world. I don't even know if people see me as John David yet. I'm still Denzel's son. I'm always his son. But being the leading man in critically acclaimed films like Tenet and Black Klansman, the Malcolm and Mary actor has carved his own path. Rather than letting the pressure of being Denzel's son get to him, he's allowed his work to speak for itself. And it's nothing short of amazing. Who knows, maybe we'll get a father and son film soon with both stars acting side by side. Denzel Washinton remains to be one of the greatest talents to grace the big screens. But above all, he graced the hearts of many with his kindness. He continues to inspire his family, acting colleagues, and the rest of the world. Like the woman at his church told him, you're going to speak to millions of people. You're going to do great things.
Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So, keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
We hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you for choosing Rumour Juice.